Achieving volume can be so challenging if you have low density hair like me, or maybe you have fine curly hair. Well, I'm gonna walk you through a step-by-step styling routine that incorporates styling techniques specifically for achieving volume using products from the new volume range from Curlsmith, who's kindly partnering with me for this video. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Gina. I make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love to simplify things, talk about product ingredients, and really help you problem solve with your curls. So let's dive in. Starting out with the new Curlsmith Full Body Weightless Cleanser and the Full Body Milk Conditioner. You want to ensure that your hair and scalp are free from buildup and oils that can weigh down your roots and make your curls appear more limp. This shampoo contains calendula flower, which is known for stimulating hair follicles. This is a regular shampoo that you can use multiple times a week if needed. It removes buildup without stripping. If you're someone with an oily scalp, or if your hair gets weighed down very easily and you're prone to buildup, you might want to try sectioning your hair when you shampoo. This technique can really make sure that you're really getting down to the scalp and you're cleansing all areas of your scalp without leaving anything left behind. You can also try the double cleansing method, which I always like to do just to make sure that I'm fully removing everything. I usually will check my scalp after I finish rinsing out my first round of shampoo, and if I see any residue like under my nails, I'll go back in with more shampoo, especially around my hairline. We can get a lot of buildup from makeup and skincare and other products, especially around the hairline area. So you really want to make sure you get that clean to really maximize our root volume. To replenish moisture, I followed up with the Full Body Milk Conditioner, which is a very lightweight conditioner, but it's still very moisturizing. You want to avoid anything too thick and heavy if you struggle with volume. I like to concentrate it on the links and ends first, and then just work the excess up to the roots, but avoiding the scalp. It was so easy to detangle. I removed most of the tangles before I shampooed, but I still usually get some more after shampoo, but my hair felt very silky and soft. After scrunching in the conditioner, I'm going to let this sit for a couple of minutes in my hair while I finish my shower. You also want to ensure that you're fully rinsing out your conditioner and not leaving any of it in your hair. This is really going to maximize your volume. I like to sort of massage my scalp when I'm rinsing out my conditioner just to make sure that I'm getting all of it off, especially if any happen to get on my scalp. After rinsing out the conditioner, you can see how silky and shiny that my hair is. It feels very soft. I'm going to wrap it up in my Curlsmith microfiber towel so we can get on to styling. Before applying styling products, you want to make sure that your hair is evenly wet but not soaking wet. I always towel dry my roots first using my Curlsmith microfiber towel, and then I just mist the links of my hair with water. You see a lot of people recommend applying your products on soaking wet hair. However, this can really reduce your volume for those of us with very thin hair. Try somewhere in between so that your hair is not frizzy or stringy, but it's also not dripping and soaking your shirt. The next step is to apply a moisturizer. So you can use a curl cream or a leave-in conditioner. Just avoid any heavy oils and butters since they will weigh down your hair and reduce your volume. So leave-ins typically are more lightweight than styling cream, especially this one from the new volume line called the Hydrate and Plump leave-in. It contains the plant-based stem cell complex that is in all of the products from this line, which nourishes the hair's cortex and plumps from the inside out. This leave-in also contains watercress, which is said to help increase the hair's thickness. Stay tuned for the styling products because you will not want to miss the new gel to mousse styler from this line. I always like to brush my products through, and then I just run my fingers through to help lift the hair off the scalp. This is going to make it so much easier to style when your hair is not stuck down to your head. Now it's time for stylers, which do most of the heavy lifting in your routine when it comes to volume. So adding in a volumizer is a great way to boost volume, and they can be paired with any holding products like a gel or a mousse. Volumizers are typically products like foams, lotions, and sprays. This line actually contains two products for boosting volume, a spray and a lotion. Today I went with the Root Boost Uplifting Spray, which can be sprayed directly onto the roots. It contains that same plant-based stem cell complex, which has a blend of olive stem extract and linden buds for fuller, thicker curls. It's also nice that this product is not sticky or greasy feeling. Most volumizing sprays create too much texture that doesn't feel great on the hair, but this one does not give that feeling in the hair. As I'm applying it, it feels very smooth. You can even spray it directly onto your hands if you don't want to spritz it right onto your hair. Sometimes I like to do that because I don't like to get it right on my scalp. The lotion, on the other hand, is going to give an even softer feel while still enhancing volume. Now for the star of the show, the new Invincible Volume Mousse. You need some type of styler that will hold your curls so that way they last all day. Products with hold usually include a gel or a mousse, and you usually see me go with a gel, but mousse can actually pack more of a punch when it comes to volume because of the airy consistency and how it expands. This is a gel to mousse formula that has a level 6 hold. So it's about one step up from their Shape Up Aqua Gel, if you're familiar with that. So for me, it's about a medium hold. It creates long-lasting volume and definition. I love how this is more of a moisturizing formula with ivy leaf and chamomile flower. A lot of mousses tend to be very drying on the hair, but this one feels a lot more moisturizing. I think because it does have a little bit of that gel consistency. It feels a lot creamier than most mousse products do. So I'm sure you can tell I definitely used too much of this as it was squeezing out of my hair. So I just kind of wrung some of that out and then applied it to the other side of my hair. I definitely did not need a whole nother pump of this, but I'm always pretty thorough when it comes to applying my stylers because I like to make sure I have very even coverage and I like full coverage of my stylers to prevent frizz. But you'll see towards the end of the video, I definitely think I used just a little too much. So now it's time for actually styling the hair. So styling is going to help give you more control over the results of your hair, so you can really enhance volume, you can create more curl definition. You can do this in sections if you want to have more of an even coverage and just enhance the curls a lot more. But if you want more volume, maybe skip creating sections. So I like doing a little bit of brush styling, which is just one styling technique to really help amp up the volume. You could just scrunch your hair and go straight to diffusing, but doing some sort of styling technique can enhance your root volume and help your curls last a lot longer. So I like using a brush because it helps to smooth frizz and enhance the curls. Typically, I will just brush style before applying mousse, but this mousse is so moisturizing and has a good amount of slip, so I'm able to actually brush style with it in my hair. Having it already in my hair will help control the frizz more because there's more of an even coverage. If you don't have a ton of frizz and you want even more volume, brush style first with just your leave-in and then scrunch in your mousse afterwards. To maintain more fullness, it just makes sure you're not over clumping the curls. Brush styling clumps and defines the curls, but you'll just want to separate them after using your fingers or a wide tooth comb. The smaller the curl clumps, the more fullness that you will have. If you naturally have skinnier curl clumps, make sure that those are not too thick or else your hair will look so much thinner when you're brush styling if you're over clumping your hair. Once I get to the top section of my hair, like around my crown, I like to brush it straight up. Angling the hair up and back is going to create more lift at the root. So this is how I'm able to get root volume without styling my hair upside down. Because if you all know, I do not like styling my hair upside down, and I don't recommend it if you have thin, low density hair because you don't have control over how it lays on your scalp. When it comes to your part, the way your hair lays is going to impact your volume so much. I'm going for more of a no part look, which will create more height around the crown. So I'm continuing those horizontal sections, or you can even take diagonal sections all along the top until I get to my very front pieces, which I do want to separate a little bit so that way my hair is not falling in my face. So once I get towards the front, I like to leave just a little part, maybe 1 to 2 inches long, so that way my hair doesn't fall in my face and it goes more so to the side. I'm just showing you up close how the hairs actually lift up at the root because some of these curl clumps actually want to go on the other side, but by keeping them on the opposite side of my part, it's actually creating more root lift because then they stick up and then go over versus they would look a lot flatter if I left them on the other side. So I hope that makes sense. It's almost like parting your hair in the opposite direction from the way it naturally wants to go to create more root lift. This simple tip makes such a difference if you have low density hair and if you struggle with your scalp showing. So flip upside down after brush styling and gently shake out your roots from underneath. Be careful not to create too much frizz, but this will break up those section lines at the scalp so that way they don't show, but leaving the clump still intact. If you struggle with your scalp showing in the back or any cowlicks, use the handheld mirror so that way you can actually see it, and then use your brush to just brush over any cowlicks in the opposite direction to better cover your scalp. Then I'm scrunching my hair with my Curlsmith microfiber towel just to absorb any excess water and product. This is also going to significantly speed up your dry time, increase your shrinkage, and it can also really help with volume too. Because if you have too much water in your hair, it's going to be heavier and really weigh down your hair. In addition, if you apply too much product, that will also weigh down your hair. So I definitely used too much. I should have just scrunched my hair and left it, but I usually do go in with a second layer of my styler, just a very light glaze if I get any frizz, or if there's any areas that just look frizzy, like the product might have been removed, then I go in with an extra layer, but I probably should have just skipped it here. Diffusing your curls is critical if you want to create more volume and root lift. You all know how my hair looks when I air dry. It is so flat and lifeless. I'm using the Curlsmith Diffusion hairdryer with the XXL diffuser attachment, which has the perfect prong design for creating root lift. This really is key. You want to make sure that your diffuser prongs extend out past the end of the diffuser bowl. That way you can actually use them to create lift.
I usually start with my hair flipped upside down so that way the roots begin to dry away from my scalp. And then I'll switch to diffusing upright when I'm ready to start actually scrunching my hair with the diffuser to create more shrinkage. I like to flip the hair from side to side as I go just for even more root lift. And really use those diffuser prongs to lift the roots up and hold. This makes the biggest difference in creating root volume because it actually sets the hair in place. Did you know that our hair will set in place with heat? This is why diffusing can help give you more defined root curls that last. The hair gets set into its shape right away. My hair is now completely dry, and if you don't have time to diffuse the whole way, just diffuse for part of the way and then finish air drying. I usually will diffuse all the way, but I still like to let my hair sit for at least 15 minutes or so to cool off before I go in and fluff it and scrunch out the cast. Once it sets, then I flip upside down to shake out the roots with dry hands. This creates instant volume.
Let's talk about these results, which are really blowing me away. I don't think I've had this much volume in such a long time. I've done a couple volume routines recently, so we'll have to go back and compare my results to those side by side to see which ones gave me more volume. But I definitely feel like I have a lot of lasting volume in this routine because I do have a texture in my hair. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering why I'm saying that when I usually don't like texture in my hair, because I do have some coarse areas. But for some reason, this texture feels different to where it feels soft. My hair doesn't feel brittle, it doesn't feel greasy or sticky, but I can definitely tell I used a volumizing product, which is why it's staying. Texture is that grit or that feeling that you can get in your hair that actually helps to hold it. So for people who have very fine curly hair that's overly soft, this would definitely be good for that because the volume will actually stay. But so far to me, it doesn't feel bad at all. Like I'm not bothered by it. It actually feels pretty good and soft. I think because there is such moisturizing ingredients in these products, so my hair doesn't feel dry and brittle. It just feels like it has some texture in it that's actually keeping the volume in place. In terms of my thoughts on the shampoo and conditioner, I thought they were really great. I'm so glad that we have another lightweight option from Curlsmith for conditioner because I know their conditioners and deep conditioners can be on the very moisturizing side, and a lot of you with very fine curly hair don't necessarily need as much moisture. So I love that the conditioner is a lot thinner. When it comes to the shampoo, I was surprised it wasn't even stronger for being in a volume range. Like it definitely felt like it was a mild shampoo to where my hair felt very moisturized after using it. It did not feel stripped at all, which most of the Curlsmith shampoos do leave that very moisturized feeling on the hair after using them, except for their detox shampoo, which is definitely a deeper cleanse. I guess I would have thought for the volume range, the shampoo would have been a little bit closer to the feeling that you get in your hair after the detox shampoo, but it's still a good like everyday shampoo. We didn't get into the full body volumizing lotion for this because these two do similar things, and I hadn't used this type of format before from Curlsmith, so that's why I wanted to try it. Whereas the lotion is very similar to the full body thickening lotion from the scalp recipe that I already love. Hydrate and Plump leave-in, really great leave-in conditioner. It was so moisturizing and very lightweight. So overall, I'm very impressed with this range. Let me know if you want to see additional reviews with this or if you have any questions about how these products might differ. I would love to sort of isolate some of these and use them by themselves to see how much of a difference they really make. But overall, I'm really excited about this new line. So I had to share a day 2 update because I am so shocked by these results on day 2 without any refreshing. I still have a lot of volume. I did go through and shake out my roots just now, so I was able to get the volume to come back, but I have little to no frizz. And with these being medium hold products, or the Mousse's medium hold, I'm honestly shocked because usually when I use either light or medium hold, I have to do a ton of refreshing on day 2, but I really only have frizz on these pieces, and they were a little frizzy yesterday, so I'm not surprised. And then a couple pieces just on the ends are frizzy, but I could touch those up probably with just water. But the volume definitely stays after you just fluff, so you do have to kind of fluff your roots throughout the day. But the clumps still look really good. My curls haven't fallen. It's not too frizzy at all. Like I have barely any frizz. I'm honestly shocked by these results. I do have quite a bit of a producty feeling in my hair, which now that I think about it, it's probably from using too much mousse. I think I probably used too much mousse because I mainly have that feeling where I applied extra mousse after micro plopping, and I was definitely heavy-handed with mousse, and I was doing that because I thought I wasn't going to get enough hold, so I did use quite a bit.
and I can feel a little bit of that grit on my fingers. Now that's definitely giving me hold and volume, but if you're someone that doesn't like grit in your hair, just don't use too much of that mousse. And here's how it looks after doing a really light refresh. So I basically just picked up those frizzy pieces and I smoothed water over them. And I feel like it did reactivate with just water because I'm feeling a slight cast come back. And then I just hit it with the diffuser for like a minute. I didn't fully dry it, so I'm just gonna let it finish air drying, but I just wanted to shrink it back up so that way I didn't have stringy pieces hanging long. But refresh pretty easy, except for that producty feel. It didn't have a ton of slip, but I was still able to just smooth some water over it. So really easy refresh. Love when I don't have to do much at all to my curls, and this should hold up really well. So maybe I'll share my day 3 results or day 4 over on my Instagram stories to give you another update.
If you do want to dive into these ingredients a little bit more, check out the shop page on my blog because I am going to add these to that where I have all the products that I recommend and you can see all the different labels on there. I'll have that link down below. And if you need more help with getting volume, I recommend checking out the previous video that I did with Curlsmith, which shows you how to get both volume and definition. So you might see some similar tips for volume, but I also include tips for still maintaining a lot of definition and frizz control. So if you're looking to find that balance between volume and definition, watch that video that's linked right here on the screen and I will talk to you over there. Bye everyone.